So let's get started with contender or pretender with the reigning Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat. Now, this is an interesting
Pretender.
one.
Pretender.
They're currently sitting at a
Pretender.
31-25 record, seventh in the East. And this is basically what they were doing last year, kind of trucking along in the regular season. What do you guys think about the Heat? Can they go on another Cinderella run in the postseason?
Pretender. Pretender. Pretender.
Yago's
Pretender.
already singing my favorite Foo Fighters song, so the Pretender.
Pretender.
So we'll let him go first. Any reason behind it, or are you just gonna say Pretender?
I think once the playoffs come around, Tyler Hero is going to be a very big liability for that team. And I think him being their third best player in the regular season, they're basically only going to be down to two players that can play in the playoffs. Tyler Hero, we've seen him get played out of the playoffs the last time he was in it. Played off the floor because of bad defensively.
We did see that. That is very true.
And they had a lot better depth back then. Now their depth is kind of cooked.
Yeah, they don't have as much depth. Well, actually, I'd say they do have a decent amount of depth.
They have a decent amount, but
they still have Duncan Robinson. They have Terry Rozier, who's an upgrade on Kyle Lowry.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, once he gets into gear, because he's struggled since he's gotten to Miami.
I mean, maybe if Caleb Martin becomes Jordan again for the playoffs.
You never know.
Can't bank on that.
Yeah, as much as I want to say contender, because I do think they'll always turn it up as soon as late March and April hits, and then they'll just carry that into the playoffs. They just always seem to do that. I just don't think so. So I will also say pretender. If they make it to the conference championship, they're not going to win it.
Yeah. Definitely not beating the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks just have a way better bench than they do. The Cavs have a better bench than they do. The Celtics even kind of have a better bench than they do. Barely, but depth is important in the playoffs. Especially if Tyler Hero gets played off the floor.
As long as you have a really good top 8 or 9, you're good.
Yeah, and the Heat do. It's just hard to I don't know if I can trust them doing that twice in a row. It's just it was so difficult for them last year.
Team yet either.
No.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier has been playing really bad for them. Tyler Hero, like I said, is going to get played out of the playoffs. There goes two of your starters that just might not mesh together, might not be playable as much in playoffs this year. Jimmy can't do everything himself.
You never know what could happen though if they get the right matchup. Even right now, there's some tiny path if you wanted to believe that it could happen. Right now they're the 7th seed. They'd play the Cavs in the first round, the Bucks in the second round if they got past the Cavs, and then the conference final would really be the tough one.
Only team in the top 4 I can see them beating is the Bucks, because Jimmy Butler owns that team.
That's true.
Yeah,
Jimmy
he's
Butler for a reason.
Again, I would Celtics, but the Celtics are stronger now than they've ever been. I mean, put Drew on, put even Jaylen Brown on Jimmy, you can slow him down.
Yeah.
He's got nobody. I mean,
I won't be incredibly surprised if the Heat start to make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. If they make it even to the conference championship, if they make it past the first 2 rounds, I'm not going to be surprised, just because they did it last year where they made it to the finals. They're a playoff team. They trek through the regular season. Once the playoffs hit, then they turn it into overdrive. However, realistically, if it's the Heat versus the Celtics in the conference championship, Celtics are winning in a gentleman's sweep in 5 games.
They're going to lose to the Knicks in 4, and if they somehow miraculously beat the Knicks, they're going to have to go against the Timberwolves or the Clippers.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a tough path for any lower seed to really make it. Let's shift over to the Western Conference for, I guess, the Western version of the Heat from last year with the Lakers.
No.
Lakers, they've been
Actually,
similarly to the Heat. They've been trucking through the regular season. They're currently 31-28.
no, I changed mine. Contender.
You're changing it to a contender.
I think so.
Ooh, all right. Why do you say that?
I was about to say you want to go
They're a
off of
better
that.
they're a better team all around than they were last year, in my opinion. I think D'Lo is comfortable in this system now. LeBron is still gonna LeBron. AD has been healthy for over a year now. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just Vanderbilt. He's a perfect playoff guy. You can plug him in and just put him on any other team's best player.
When you're talking about teams like I said earlier, like you got to be 8, 9 deep. They got 8 really good guys.
Who's off their bench? I don't even know.
Rui Hachimura.
Well, they
Oh,
change it
Dinwiddie.
depending on matchup. Yeah, Dinwiddie. So their starting five the last few games. It's been D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD with Prince, Reddish, Dinwiddie.
Prince is terrible.
Prince is not
Reddish
good.
is terrible.
Well, Prince has had a solid year shooting the ball for them this year.
He
He's been
doesn't
their
do
starter
anything
for
else.
most of the year.
He does not do a darn thing else.
It's gonna come down to if they can make enough threes and defend the 3-point shot enough.
That's why you got Reeves, and that's why you got D'Lo and Dinwiddie off the bench. Dinwiddie can hit the three.
Yeah.
I will also say contender.
Wow.
Just because I will never count out LeBron. I just can't.
Glazer.
You said contender too because you literally said LeBron is gonna LeBron. LeBron's gonna LeBron. You cannot count out LeBron James even at 38, 39 years old. It's just not until like anything can happen. He could have a great series and they're gonna win a game or two. It's just you never know. I'm not comfortable in saying they're a pretender because they have LeBron. If you have LeBron, you are an automatic championship contender, even if you have a not so great offense or team around him. But they have like a solid team around him. So
the 2019 Lakers were a contender because LeBron was on that team.
Yes.
I think, yeah, if he didn't get injured, you could say that they were.
We were talking in the pre-pod lobby about the old Cavs and how terrible his team around him was, or not even the pre-pod lobby. We were talking about earlier in the episode, like about Mike Brown and his old team. In 2007, they made it to the finals. They got swept. They weren't a great team, but they had LeBron, so they made it to the finals. That's what you call a championship contender.
2018 Cavs. That team was awful.
They were awful. I am going pretender. I'm going pretender on the Lakers.
Okay.
Oh, pretender on your 4th seed coming into the year?
Yes, they are a pretender. They are a pretender, in my opinion.
So?
Because, like LeBron said at points throughout the season, yes, they can beat anyone on any given night, but they can also lose and just get crushed by anyone on any given night. Yeah. And in playoff games, you cannot, as a lower seed against greater competition than last year, you cannot afford to have any just bad games.
Well,
you can't
when
give
you talk about teams he can't beat, I think it's us because we somehow beat them every time we play them. We can't beat anybody else but them.
Well, the Lakers, they have so many just perplexing games. Like yesterday against the Suns, as we're recording this, they lost because they give up a quarter, and they do that in nearly every game. They give up a quarter, they give up a half, and you can't do that in the playoffs and be successful. And
that's smart basketball.
I think they're a pretender.
Yep, I agree. I agree on that part, like the logic you're making sense.
Yeah.
But still contender for me.
It's
tough to go against LeBron.
It's tough to go against. It's tough to go against LeBron, but
liar, you hate
I'm doing
LeBron.
it. I'm doing it.
You ungrateful Cavs fan.
I'm not ungrateful. I'm realistic.
So because I said because they have LeBron, they're a contender. I'm a Glazer, and because he said LeBron and they're a pretender, he's a Cavs hater
There's
now.
no middle ground.
Here.
Nope.
Oh my.
So we have it on recording. There is no middle ground.
Amen.
Okay, let's keep on going with one of the teams that the Lakers beat in the playoffs last year with the Golden State Warriors. Now, they've been playing better recently. Jackson singing his Pretender song once again. What do you guys think about the Warriors?
Steph can't do it all.
Like my favorite Foo Fighters song, The Pretender. They are a pretender.
Draymond's gonna be punching people.
If this was the Warriors of 5 years ago, yes. But unfortunately, Klay Thompson ain't who he used to be.
Well, he is now since he's coming off the bench. Finally, as I've been asking.
Well, let's see. Who are they slated to go against in the first round right now?
Well, they'd have to get past the Lake. They are the 10th seed right now, so it's a very long shot. I'm going Pretender because they're the 10th seed.
Let's say they go in as the 8th seed. Who do they play first round?
They play the Timberwolves.
They're getting clamped up. They can't guard either. They can't guard either of those teams.
Yeah,
and those teams can up against them very well.
I trust Steph. I don't trust anybody else on that team though.
Yeah, anymore.
Steph and Kuminga. Sorry, other than those two.
Oh my gosh.
They're the only two that have been consistently good all year round.
You are such a liar. Kuminga started off so bad. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He started off shooting 17% from the 3.
Okay, sorry, for the last 2 months then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Oh my gosh.
But,
I'm upset.
Hey, ever since Draymond Green came back from his suspension, they have been looking better. I am gonna say Pretender. I'm saying Pretender.
Finally. Dude, Miles loves the Warriors more than he loves the Cavs, I swear.
No, I don't. Oh my gosh. Dude, Draymond is averaging 9, 7, and 6, shooting 44% from 3.
To quote Charles Barkley on NBA TNT, that's what we call a triple single.
Oh yeah, the triple single. That's Draymond's specialty.
He's made the All-Star team with a stat line like that. Let's not forget.
He did make the All-Star game averaging 7, 7, and 7.
Yeah, that's awful. It's so stupid. He's such a loser. He's a lunatic.
Oh my god.
He should be put in a psych ward.
Okay, moving on.
I think some of our viewers would say the same about you.
Yes.
That's what my parents say too.
Let's move on to the Dallas Mavericks. They're a team that we talked about last episode.
Pretender.
Oh.
Jackson's loving this song.
Clearly, Joey didn't watch the Pacers game last night. They didn't play a lick of defense against the Pacers.
It was bad.
It was awful. They looked so bad. I mean, I would have said Pretender even if they would have played good defense and won that game. I don't care. They're pretenders. They just are.
I'm seeing them tomorrow night or tonight as this video's gonna be released.
Oh yeah, they are playing.
I am gonna see them in Cleveland, where I'm gonna be rocking my Kyrie Cavs jersey because he's coming back. But
I have a Donovan Mitchell jersey for you. Wear that instead. He's gonna have 50.
No, you can't make it to me in time. Let's see. I'm gonna say contender though. But not finals contender, championship contender.
No, they're neither.
I think they can do conference championship contending, but not NBA finals contending.
They're first or second round exit.
Wait, hey.
You are such a glazer for the Timberwolves. It's not even funny.
Conference finals, we were talking about it. I think they can do it. I think they can do it for sure.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like I think they can make the conference championship.
Yeah, how do you make the conference championship when you give up 155 points a game?
They don't. They're not a bad defensive team. I don't know why we're acting like they're such a bad defensive team.
Who is this we? It's Goglin.
All right, name one good defender in their starting lineup.
One good defender in their starting lineup: Derek Lively. PJ Washington's been good for them. Josh Green has been good for them.
3 games! 3! And he looked terrible last night.
That's what we have 4 games to base.
It's been 1 game.
we've based them off 4 games. We have to make conclusions based on what we've seen, and what we've seen is that the Mavericks have been a good defense with all those guys on the floor in
Didn't they give
4
up
games
140 last night?
to the best offense in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Pacers score against everyone.
Not everyone.
I think that we talked about it. I think the Mavericks have a shot at a conference finals, no question.
There's very many questions.
But I don't think they can make it interesting and
no.
But I don't see them making it past the conference championship.
They're the worst team I've ever seen offensively and defensively and
offensively they have Luka.
Yeah, they also don't have Mark Cuban as their owner anymore. So
he is
still their owner.
No, he's not.
Yes.
He's the leader in basketball operations, not the owner.
He sold a share of the Mavericks, not the whole thing.
His share. They were talking about it on the broadcast last night, you silly goose.
Okay, well that has nothing to do with the Mavericks' offense and defense, Jackson. Okay, all right, you know what? Let's talk about Jackson's favorite team in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Pretender.
Timberwolves.
How? Literally how?
Timberwolves are the number 1 seed in the West.
Give me one good reason.
It's the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a very good.
It's the one word. Give me one word. It's the playoffs.
And you know how to win in the playoffs? This thing called defense. And you know who's the number 1 defense in the league?
You know who doesn't know how to win in the playoffs? Everybody on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Not true.
That is a fact. Besides Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards, in some flashes the last couple years, their players have struggled in the playoffs. Their core key guys.
The only reason the Timberwolves will make it far is because of a man named Anthony Edwards. It's the only reason they're making it far.
When Cat has a good playoff series, and when Rudy finally has a good playoff series,
I can't wait for them to have one good game and Ant still have better stats than them for the whole series, and you're still going to be like, hey, Cat and Rudy carried.
I'm not going to say Cat and Rudy carried. I will always say Anthony Edwards did more than everybody else because he is my favorite player on that team.
He is a dog. I will never dispute that. Ant Edwards is the reason Minnesota's relevant again.
I won't agree. I'm not going to agree with that though.
No.
They have the defensive player of the year front runner.
He's the main reason that their offense is comparable, him and Cat. But the reason that they've been so good this year has been their defense.
Him, McDaniels, and Gobert are the reasons. Because Ant Edwards is so good defensively too. He might be one of the most underrated defenders in the NBA.
He is a very good star defender in the league.
Again, Ant Edwards is the reason.
See, the thing that the Timberwolves do have going for them that those Jazz teams didn't have is that they do have the perimeter defense to account for the shooting all over the floor, which the Jazz just did not, and that's why.
Yeah, because Donovan Mitchell sucks.
Rudy got played off the floor. Well, hey,
I'm just kidding.
Dude, Mike Conley was on those teams too, but it was also like instead of a Bojan Bogdanovic or Royce O'Neal having to play defense, now it's guys like Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson. So that's better. That's definitely better.
All right, I'm serious. Name a better perimeter defense duo in the NBA than McDaniels and Ant Edwards. You can't.
And Ant Edwards?
Ant Edwards is so good with perimeter defense.
Well, perimeter, that's such a... I mean, that's a tough...
Name two better.
Offhand, you probably can't.
I'm just going to let you have your time. That's fine.
Offhand, you probably can't because they are the best defense. I mean,
they are the best defense. How do you want me to dispute that?
You can't dispute it. They have the best defense.
Literally.
Miles, go check the stats after this. You can't find a better one.
I'm telling you, yeah, they're the number 1 defense. That's what we're saying to you.
That's literally what both of us are saying to you.
Jackson, have ears. Oh my gosh. I'm still gonna say Pretender though. They're not getting past second round.
Thank you.
That's my opinion. Because in the second round, most likely, when the standings, shake out the way that they will, if the Timberwolves stay number 1, they'd have to face the Clippers or the Suns in the second round, and that's a tough.
There's no way they're beating either of those teams.
That's a tough ask.
The Suns.
They
can.
The Suns
easy. They can beat the Suns easy.
They can
No
beat
question.
they can beat any of these teams, but they can also lose to any of these teams because we've
The
seen
Suns,
their front court struggle in the playoffs no matter what team they've been
they
on.
are boat racing the Suns. The Suns, they have a little bit of size, like Bull, but Bull is getting destroyed by.
Okay, speaking of the
They're
Suns,
pretty
let's
good.
go to them. They're the next team,
Yeah.
the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are the next team.
Contender.
Now, does their lower seed, like most likely they're going to finish between 5 and 8? Well, yesterday was insane. Yesterday was insane. They started the day, them and the Sacramento Kings started the day at the 8th seed, and they both won their games and they jumped up to 5 automatically, which is just incredible.
They're a contender. You have Kevin Durant in the playoffs. Devin Booker turns it up to a new level. I don't really know what playoff Beal looks like.
We haven't seen that in a long time.
We have not seen that in a long time.
We can't really judge that. I mean, we haven't really seen him on the court very much this season either. So
that's the thing. But if they're healthy, man, they add in Royce O'Neal. They got some depth now, and KD championship experience. Booker's made it to the finals. Like, you have guys with playoff experience.
Actually, I'm gonna say pretender.
So I gotta say contender with that. They're just those guys. Honestly, even if they didn't have Beal, I would say they could be a contender just because of KD and Booker.
I agree with that.
But with adding Beal and if he's healthy, that's nuts.
I mean, Grayson Allen, they have basically, if Beal's out, they have 3 people who can score the basketball. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. See, to me, their X factor in certain series may be Nurkic, depending on who they face in the postseason. Because, like right now in the first, so my thing on this, the Suns, I think they're contenders, but they could also lose in the first round.
Well, they're play who?
It's all or nothing, basically.
Because right now they're playing the Nuggets in the first round, and that's
they're getting destroyed in that series. They're getting absolutely destroyed.
Nurkic revenge series.
I don't care. All right.